Hi, Susie from Pink Diamond Guide. How are you today? Dropping by. I've just been out watching the lunar eclipse and spending some time in some deep stillness. And was blessed that Ricky and I watched the eclipse together, and we got to have some beautiful conversations about all of the changes that we want to make in our lives and things we want to release and let go and want to move forward. And so it's like it feels like a very, very powerful energy. I'm sitting in a very still space tonight, and I really did want to come in and do a reading and see how that energy wants to manifest. Now, what we're going to move through in the next couple of weeks is probably an integration phase of letting the energies that sit. Now, there's big changes promised behind these lunar eclipses, and as such, it doesn't always happen like in a blink. It can take some time for these energies to integrate. But what's promised behind this blood moon in Taurus eclipse, conjunct with Uranus, is enlightening and liberating and shocking, intimidating, transformative, radical changes. It's promised to be one of the biggest shifts of 2022. And I know, just looking at our scenario, that we're feeling those energies intently, and conversations are getting better. They're more open, more productive, and we're voluntarily starting to move through the challenges in a more healthy way, rather than having the universe rip and tear at us, which is, none of us want that. You want to be able to work through what needs to let go and the direction that you're headed in a healthy way, so that you don't have to have that energy where it forces you to make changes, which it will. Righto, I'm keen to see what this reading is going to be. Hey, interestingly, our journeys just mirror each other so intently, and sadly, we both had to deal with grief in losing someone close to us. So these energies have really been designed to dig into our deepest core energies, and force us, not really force us, because it's a natural occurrence. When you love someone, you want their well-being to be front and center. But in a scenario where we might have otherwise gone to our separate caves to do our work and our healing, we've been supporting each other through some grief processes in losing people who are close to us. It's been a wild little ride this last little bit, but it has been getting us to look at things that are really, really meaningful, and working through those energies that do explore conflict and desire. So let's dive into it from the perspective of the divine feminine first. Then we'll look at some masculine energies, and then we'll get into our divine love oracle. Let's go. What have we got? Interesting. I just said it, conflict and desire, which could really play out, under the Two of Swords energy. It could be, and the devil's in there too. Look, and then we've got the Queen of Wands. Yeah. Then we've got the Sun. Then we've got the Ten of Cups, and the likely outcome, the Seven of Cups. Righto. We've got under the deck, we've got the Eight of Pentacles, the Seven of Pentacles. We've got the Two of Wands, the King of Cups, the King of Swords. How many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we'll take the Page of Swords. Look at all this communication. Looking at all this communication. You've got the Page of Swords there, which is the messenger of tarot. The King of Swords there, which is somebody who's a very confident speaker, someone who would be a leader, somebody who'd be out in front and out in charge, speaking their truth. And here we've got the King of Cups. Now, we had the King of Cups come through last time, which is taking action on these cup energies. So how we feel love, how we want to express ourselves, and the things that we want to talk about. We want to talk our truths. We want to talk about, like, King of Swords is somebody on mission. It's an idea that you move forward in a very confident way. And here our Page of Swords likes to speak. This is, I want to speak about what matters to me in a heartfelt way, and I want to take significant action on that. Some very, very masculine energies coming through with those kings, and with our pages. They're action oriented. They want to move and communicate, which is Lovely to see, lovely. And here we've got the Two of Wands. So that does put us at a bit of a crossroads. It's like going, we don't want to be in chaser energy, do we? We don't want to be chasing after this communication, but we do want to talk. We want to be in communication. I'm super keen to see what's happening on the divine masculine side with regards to communication, because it looks like that doorway is starting to open. Now, I did say that this transformation would probably take a little bit to actually integrate and to be transformative. But when it actually manifests, it will feel like a sudden turnaround, right? So here, it puts you at a crossroads. Here, we're sitting in the pre-harvest, and here it's about getting to work. So, look, it is this idea of choosing a path and going after it and wanting to express what you want to say in a very, very confident way. This is nowhere near the challenge that Divine Feminine had around what she knows to be a truth. And that's something that's been worked through in the past couple of months of going, am I going to sit in processes of pain, or am I going to sit in processes of healing? Am I going to chase meaningful things in life, or am I going to repeat ascension processes when I could be refining them and crystallizing them? And I mean, this is clearly what this energy is that idea of mastery around what you know and how you want to move your journey forward. So getting to a bit of a crossroads is an interesting energy when you're sitting in the pre-harvest, because you don't actually have in your hand what it is that you need to make a decision on, right? You go, it's, to me, it feels like it's coming up, where you're going to be asked to move into, well, I don't want to say more of an action oriented role. So you're going to be asked to communicate your truth. And when that truth comes forward, it's going to put you at a crossroad, and you're going to have to rely on your mastery because you still are in the pre-harvest. Where is that going to take us? Is that a scenario where you're with your divine masculine, or you're with a collective energy, and you're being asked to work your truth, and speak about what you know and what you've learned and how these processes work, even though you sit in the pre-harvest of the full extent of the energy. It's interesting. Let's dive a little deeper. Two of Swords, the push on the universe. Look, I'm fully seeing this as that energy around Mars going retrograde in Gemini, and that exploration of conflict and desire. So it's having a couple of opposing schools of thought and not really knowing exactly how you feel about it. It can bring some awkward moments forward. And look what we've got showing up is the devil. See, this is interesting. This is why I think, I'm sort of dancing around what these energies are, because we do not want them to tip into chaser energies. But essentially, we do want to feel those. We do want to feel these. These are energies of desire, and the devil's been coming through a little bit in these readings. Divine Feminine is feeling desire, and they're in this exploration of conflict and desire, which can bring about a level of awkwardness, because we don't want surface level desire. We want more meaningful things in life, and that can bring the processes of going, I'm in conflict with what I feel, because I know there's a truth that hasn't quite been revealed yet. We're not at a space of mastery, but yet I'm being asked to make a decision on a path that it's not yet in its full capacity. And right now the expression that I have is I'm in conflict with my desire. And here, look, in the challenge position, the challenge is to sit in the full abundance of whatever this path is that we choose. The advice from Spirit is going, I just want you to be happy. I want you to have your cups overflowing. Look, at your challenge is the Sun, and the advice is the Ten of Cups. It's allowing yourself to be happy, allowing yourself to be abundant, allowing desire to be part of that picture. Here you get the Seven of Cups, where you're moving again into an idea of choices. So how I'm pitting this in this energy, and I'm super keen to see how divine masculine energy plays out, is that you will be coming to a point where you're making choices about how you want to connect in the 3D scenario. And I don't often You know, like if I don't see this energy, I won't call it. But I feel like divine feminine under this current soulmate cycle is getting closer and closer to having to make decisions in the physical world about where the connection sits. So you might be going toe to toe with your divine masculine, having conversations that do reflect conflict and desire, and wanting to get to the bottom of the situation. And it can be an all or nothing kind of a scenario. You're either going to give me all or you're going to give me nothing, and I need to make choices around that. I want to dive into divine masculine more than I want to linger on this energy, because I want to see what the how are they playing into this space. Why is divine feminine full of desire but being asked to sit in a level of conflict and desire? That's that Mars retrograde energy. And it's going to push you into a place where you're going to question what happiness means. Big energy, big energy. These are so complex, aren't they? But here, when we look at it, we're not really seeing the transformative side of things, or the radical shifts, the radical adjustments. I'm not seeing that necessarily in this energy without the input of the divine masculine. So let's have a look. What have we got? We have got Five of Cups. We have got Page of Pentacles, the Emperor in the soul space, the Chariot in the challenge, Queen of Cups is the advice, beautiful, and the King of Wands as the likely outcome. Let's look at our bottom six. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Look, he's got mastery too. I'm not kidding. Look, these two need to get to work on figuring out what the baseline is. It's not good enough anymore to sit back in this energy or hold back into this energy. You won't be able to figure out the baseline of the connection until it starts to communicate in a really, really healthy way. Now, you had it in here too. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? I saw it. Look at this. Look how closely these energies are matching. Now you've got the pre-harvest. You're both sitting in the pre-harvest. This is getting closer and closer and closer to a level of physical manifestation. It's no longer one feels ready and one doesn't. Both are sitting there going, it's time to make a move on this. It's time to invest some energy in, look, you've got the 7 to the 8. You've got to move from the 7 to the 8. That energy has to evolve into something divine masculine. It's time to take a chance. It's time to take a leap of faith. It's time to move on more than what you see around you and start to listen more to the instinct, to those deeper pushes, and know that you may well walk off a cliff, but you still need to take that chance. Here, look at this. Sorry, I'm flying through these because this energy feels fast-paced to me, and in comes the 8 of Wands. So those arrows in the air. We have communication playing out in these underlying energies. Look what you've got, Divine Feminine. Communication, communication, communication. And what has Divine Masculine got? Communication. The arrows are in the air. These are going to start to turn into very real conversations. I don't think this is going to be held back for too much longer. Look, on top of that, I want to make an offer. I want to offer love. I'm being guided by the divine. My 5D to the 3D, it's like I kind of, not that Hansel and Gretel's story was necessarily nice that they got being trapped in the gingerbread cottage, but it's like following the breadcrumbs back to you, following where they're led. They're being dropped breadcrumbs all the way. So whether they're seeing your name, hearing, but they're getting signs and symbols, and it's getting impossible to resist the messages that they're getting. Look at this. Fast-paced communication, fast-paced action. The wands are in the air, and the Knight of Cups, Mr. Valentine's Day, wants to come and offer a genuine cup of love. Now, these are the baseline energies. What is forcing divine masculine to move? Look at this, the 5 of Cups. Regret, guilt, sadness, sorrow, any of those big energies. 5 of Cups is enough when it's felt as a push from the universe. That's where they're going to feel motivated to want to heal. When you feel this level of sadness in your soul space, or a level of grief, and we can certainly say that that's playing out in our scenarios, this level of grief and sadness, regret, remorse, could have done things differently, I turned my back on my connection. It's those kinds of energies that will actually push a divine masculine to take action. And what does he do? Divine Feminine. He makes an offer. Little Page of Pentacles there going, I've got something to offer now. I've got a legitimate offer because in my soul space I have evolved. I'm the Emperor. I've got this under control. I've evolved. I've grown. I'm much more aware. I'm ready to be more of a protector, more of a nurturer, more understanding, more of a leader. And that's sitting in the soul space. We've got an Emperor and we've got a Queen. Now, the interesting, I can call out the Queen of Wands for having she can be a little bit fakey at times, but when it sits in the soul space, what she's doing is she's putting a fire in the belly of what the soul wants. So this is not a bad station for the Queen of Wands to be sitting at this point when she's demanding things of her Emperor. I don't actually mind that combo for the soul space. What's his challenge? Shoot me. No, don't shoot me. That's a horrible thing to say. Struggle me. He's got the Chariot as the struggle, as the challenge, and you have got you've got the Sun, right? You've got a struggle to want to believe in abundance, and he's got a struggle to move forward. But the universe is saying, look what you two have on offer. Queen of Cups is the most love one person can feel for another in tarot, and the Ten of Cups is converting that into a scenario that's very, very real out here in the real world. Look at these two together. Holy moly, this is the purest version of love that can be offered. And here, the likely outcome, the King of Wands, right? He's taking action. It's the first time I've read it with this degree of push towards not being able to resist taking action. There's not much complexity left to dig into. The biggest energy shift of this year is on, and what it's doing to Divine Masculine, it's making them want to take action. What it's doing to Divine Feminine is going, I really need to weigh up my choices here. Is this an evolved energy, right? You can see how those two are sitting in I'm going to come forward and nothing's going to stop me now. There's no blocks between me and making my approach other than this. Look, we have the Chariot sitting in there. Why is the Chariot moving forward a challenge? Let's just grab another because it seems counterintuitive to the rest of the reading. Why is that one a challenge? Let's just put these back and let's read on this Chariot. Let's read on the Chariot and let's read on this Sun card and just get a little bit more of an answer of why every push against Divine Masculine, he's got the sadness, he's got the grief, he's got the push, he's got the maturity, he's got the offer. Why doesn't he do it? Well, I think he will, though. I think he'll overcome this challenge. Let's have a look. Spirit, will he overcome this challenge to the Chariot? Queen of Pentacles. See, look, will the Queen of Pentacles, you, Divine Feminine, leave me out in the cold? So just a tiny little bit of fear-based energy. What have you got around the Sun card? What have you got around the Sun card? Give us just a couple of words of why the Sun card is a challenge. What are you juggling, Divine Feminine? Oh, you're still juggling justice. Do you still feel a bit ripped off in the snow? I'm going to say I'm sitting in that scenario, and a fresh new start is what you're juggling. You're juggling a fresh new start. Conflict and desire, right? Conflict and desire. You're juggling them. I don't think that this can't be overcome, but I understand why it's a challenge. Look, when somebody does hurt you to the degree that twin flames go through, it is really, really hard to see your way through to the next level of trust and connection and balance, and feeling like a new start is something that you're ready for, and this is what the sun wants to shine on this couple. It does, but there's no way the sun is going to come out and shine if there's still too much resistance in the connection. And what we've been through, I'm going to reflect on our connection. I'm not ready to just to dive back into to those bit. Like, I do feel like I want to get some level of justice on how those energies have been playing out, because at times they've been really hurtful. And it's like, they've lacked compassion, they've lacked understanding. But I understand that Ricky's journey was requiring him to go through what he needed to learn and grow through. And he was my mirror, so I obviously had friction. There was lessons I needed to learn, but I don't know if I'm through them yet. And I'm not going to rush myself to this energy just for the sake of having the connection together. I would much rather take my time and learn my lesson properly and clear that energy in a healthy way, than rush into, and probably this energy is right, if I'm being brutally honest, that for it to rush in too quickly at this point, I probably would say, no, I'm not done healing, I'm not done with the separation phase that we're in, and the energy would still remain a little bit out in the cold. That said, the communication is really solid and significant, and it's warm, and we're supporting each other. There's a lot in our connection that is to be admired at this point in time, but we are not through the lessons that last round. The reason that we sit in separation from each other, we're not through those lessons. So I can understand why this has still got that fear of being out of the cold from that perspective. But what I would suggest is that there's a lot of communication about to occur between divine feminine and divine masculine. And for that, there's a lot to be excited about. Right. Okay, so let's have a look at our Divine Love Oracle and see what's playing out in there. Let's have a look what's playing out in there. Divine Feminine, what have we got for you? Let's have a look under this beautiful lunar eclipse energy. What have we got? Love thy will be done. For Divine Masculine, you are unique. And the connection, I am not myself. Righto. This is perfect, and it's kind of what I was just saying. Love thy will be done. So when we're here as twin flames, we're here on mission, right? We're here to learn and grow. And the baseline will of the divine, the reason we're on our planet is to evolve. It's not the fluff and nonsense of the process. Love thy will be done. So whether this love that you feel for your twin is causing you to sit in pain, it's causing you to evolve, it's causing you, or you're enjoying the bounty of being in connection, and how beautiful it is when you get to sit in each other's light in a healthy way. Love thy will be done. We have to surrender that this journey doesn't belong to how we feel in the moment of going, well, I think I'm healed and I want this connection online. I want the physicality of it now. No, it belongs to the divine. And not until we've done the work necessary are we able to stand up in these connections. Here, unique. Yes, you are unique. Here it's a Kurt Cobain quote. It says, I laugh at them because they are all the same. I think the full quote is, they laugh at me because I'm different, and I laugh at them because they're all the same. Now, what happens, Divine Masculine? You do have to rise above the rest of the crowd. You do have to find a way to be unique. And under these lunar eclipse energies, there are things that you have to shed as part of being unique, as a twin flame. Who you are on your journey is, they may laugh at you for being who you are, and you may have to laugh at them for being amongst the masses. But the point of the exercise is, yeah, you are unique. You are. You are unique by design, and because of that, there's a certain, there's a process and a pattern that occurs that's designed to push you into the truth of how unique you truly are. And if you've not understood it to date, you're about to. Here, I'm not myself, right? Who's been resonating with this in their connection for the past little bit and going, here's you, here's your shadow energy, and going, right now I need to be with my shadow, which is my subconscious, or a consciousness that exists for me to dance with. And I'm not myself. I have felt so out of body. And look, I'm not going to hold back in speaking about when, this idea of manifesting in Christ consciousness can sometimes leave you feeling like you just don't even want to be on the planet. I think we're doing a disservice if we don't speak about the ideals that this can push you to those suicidal tendencies when these energies are at their worst. And we do need each other as a collective to be able to say, This connection drives me to the edge of even wanting to be on the planet. I don't even want to be in my body. I want to be free. I don't want to be myself. And it's sometimes it can be really, really hard to even want to stay on the planet. And what I suggest, the reason that, I bother to put these readings out on YouTube and connect with people is to go, you need somebody who's got your back on these days when it feels its worst. And I am blessed to have, people in my corner who I can say, look, I've hit rock bottom here, and I'm even having these thoughts that it would just be easier to drive my car into the ditch and just have this all be done and dusted, and I don't have to worry about any of this anymore. It can push you to those limits, to have to be pushed into your shadow work time and time again to continually evolve. And I just wanted to say that I'm not immune from that. And Ricky's not immune from that. We definitely have had those dances where the journey that we've been on has pushed us to not even want to be on the planet. So I'm feeling that energy really intently in this. The connection is going, I'm not myself. And if you're feeling pushed this way, now here's the energy of what the eclipse has been, this eclipse doorway, and including the multiple other cosmic processes that are playing out. It has been one of the biggest energy shifts of the year. And what you won't voluntarily let go of, that's for your greater good, will be ripped away. And that can feel excruciating. And it can feel like you just don't want to cop anymore. But in that moment, I just want you to know that you're not alone, and to surround yourself with people who understand how incredibly serious it is to sit in that energy. Right. See, that's a big, heavy message, isn't it? But I'm not going to hold back from reading things the way that they're given to me, because the current energy is about finding meaningful things in life. It is about exploring conflict and desire, finding soul-based connections that are all or nothing, and getting to the bottom of the situation. And that energy is intimidating, transformative, radical, all of those things. And that can be bloody tough to deal with. So just know, if you're like me and you've been going through it, and it's not just your connection that puts you through it. I mean, certainly your connection provokes it, but it's being alive on the planet and being on an ascension journey. You go through it, you run the gauntlet. And if you're not feeling like yourself or feeling grounded on the planet, make sure you're connecting with someone. Let somebody know how significant the struggle is, because we all need, we are in this together, and supporting each other through it is the power of the collective. Righto. That's a big, big message. But I do want to say, it does feel like the takeaway. Allow these energies to integrate and move and shift, and then look for sudden change that feels like it involves communication with divine masculine and feminine, and it feels like the physicality is starting to become more and more tangible. So as much as that was a heavy message with the oracle, we did have some really bright moments throughout that reading, and I hope you'll take those away too. Okay, I'm going to wrap this reading up for now. Happy lunar eclipse, and hope you're managing it really, really well and getting the most out of these incredible energies. And until we talk to you next time, in faith, hope, and love, it's bye from me for now.